Music Access. I think we can all say that the weekend goes by all too quickly. But did you know this? People who worked hard during the week feel like the weekend goes by even faster. So if you feel like your weekend sped by too fast, don't be too sad about the time, but praise yourself about a job well done over the week. Give yourself a nice pat on the back for working hard and doing your best. It'll give you a nice boost of energy to start off your new week strong, don't you think? What's up, guys? The first song you heard today, Sunday, December 6th, 2015, was Everybody Talks by Neon Trees. It is now Sunday. This past week on Thursday, we had us some big snowfall here in Korea, and we had a beautiful white scenery. And looking at the scenery, it kind of totally put me into perspective about really kind of getting into winter. This past week we talked about first snow and all that stuff, and then as we're getting into the weekend, we're really kind of getting into December, and just kind of seeing this winter wonderland makes me want to go in the snow and make a snowman. I don't know if I will be able to, and I don't think I'm going to make a snowman around where my company is. You guys might be like, Benji, if you want to make a snowman, you can make a snowman, around your practice area. Just FYI, the practice area around my company is a parking lot. And is there a park nearby where I can make a snowman? Not quite. So, hopefully, maybe if they do give us a day off, we'll get some time to play in the snow. Maybe, make some snow army. Or, just throw snowballs. But anyway, guys, if you are in an area where it is snowing, enjoy that snow. Go outside and play. It is one of the only seasons, I believe, when snow comes around winter. I believe, because I don't think it snows in the summer, unless it snows in the summer in Australia. No, because it's always hot in Australia. So guys, if you have snow where you are, enjoy that snow. And for those of you where it's getting hotter, cool off maybe with some snowflake ice cream or just ice. Dipping your feet in ice water is a good way to cool off. Alright, so, getting into our introduction for our Sunday show, our Sunday corner, Scribble. Scribble is a corner for you to think freely and just doodle out your thoughts. It's a chance for you to be honest to yourself and think about what was hard, what was embarrassing, what was a proud moment, etc. from the past week or whenever. Just think of it as an open corner for you to ask and talk with me about anything you want. To write in for this corner, go ahead and write Scribble on your title. Now, of course, here's how you can listen and participate on Music Access. If you have a smartphone, you can download the Arirang Radio app or TuneIn Radio app to listen to our programs and send in your messages. And if you use a computer, just visit www.arirangradio.com/musicaccess to listen to us or leave your messages. Another way you can tune in is through terrestrial DMB, but this is only available for our listeners living on Jeju Island. The frequencies are 88.7 for Jeju City, 88.1 for Seogwipo, and 101.9 for Daejeong. And of course, y'all have been sending in some great song requests, so keep them coming by posting up a message on our message board under the title Request. Now we'll check out two songs before we dive into Scribble, starting with According to You by Orianthi, followed with DJ Got Us Fallen in Love by Usher featuring Pitbull. I want to be with you, and if you feel the same, shall we meet here? Will you tell me your story? If you're shy, you can playfully scribble, and if you don't know where to start, you can start with a doodle and scribble. Good job. That's how we'll begin our story. I wanna be with you. Our Sunday Corner Scribble is just that. If you consider Music Access as a big notepad, a big journal for all your thoughts and comments, this is the corner for you. Go ahead and write into us about anything and everything on your mind, and feel free to share with us those moments from either this week or whenever. It's a chance to kind of be honest and think about what was hard, what was embarrassing, what was a proud moment, etc. from the past week. Go ahead and share with us by writing scribble scribble on your title. Now we'll go to our first message, which comes from Darcy and from the USA, saying, Benji, the writing challenge for the month of November is over. I wrote 47,000 words out of 50,000 words for the month and was not able to finish my novel. I'm going to take a break from it and get back to it in a few weeks. I did learn that I can write more than just one-page short stories and poetry. I do miss the poetry and want to get back into doing that. I did have a few requests to read my novel once it is done, so I'll look into printing. Benji, for all the encouragement you give people when they're trying to undertake near impossible things, 고마워요. Take care, Benji, Darcy, Ann. So that word challenge for November is over. 50,000 words is a lot of words, by the way, guys. It's a lot. This is a huge undertaking. It's not something that, you just kind of like, oh, I'll do it, and you do it. It's a really, really hard thing to do. And the fact that you wrote 47,000 words, I think that's more words than I've written in essays my entire academic career. Granted, I only did up to the limit. I never really went over. If it said 2,000 words, I did 2,000 words. But yes, congratulations on that. Even though you might be a little bit short, like you just said, take a break and get back to it in a few weeks. And now that you have undertook this, now it's maybe another thing for you if you ever want to write another novel. Just think about it. You did your poetry and your short word stories. And as you said, you mentioned that you want to get back into poetry and do that stuff, which is great, which means now you have a third option. You can do these short stories, you can write poetry, and then whenever you want to tackle a behemoth, you write a novel, which is more than a lot of people can say. I can't even write a short story. My short stories would go a little bit like this. The hippopotamus fell into the mud. The mud was very slippery. The mud hardened and became brittle. The hippopotamus ran into a wall and molted all the clay. And then he went away. The end. And that was Poetry by Benji Bay, brought to you by the letter M-A. Or those are letters, actually. And see, this is why writing is just not for everyone. There's some people that are talented at it, like you, Darcy Ann, and some people that are not quite like me. But congratulations anyway on your novel. You'll finish it, and then, of course, I will be interested in reading it. And then awesome things will happen. But congratulations, you did a good job, and hopefully you'll be able to tackle this month of December with no problem. Now we're going to check out 2 more songs as we continue on with our program. Melody Pick of Thailand wants to hear Pretty Hurts by Beyonce, and Unita of Indonesia wants to hear Apologize by Timbaland featuring One Republic. We just heard the songs Pretty Hurts by Beyonce followed by Apologize by Timbaland featuring One Republic. Although, side note, the original song is actually just a One Republic song, and I do recommend that you check it out for real. The Timbaland version opens with piano chords, and the One Republic version opens up with an orchestral string arrangement, which is crazy. I remember I heard this song, I was like, oh, it's cool. And then I found out that One Republic had the original version, which came out, some years before that, I believe. And then I heard it, and it's just crazy. It's a totally different mood, totally different song, same melody, but it's a totally different feel. So if you can, go and check it out. Apologize by One Republic. All right, so it's time for our next message. And our next message comes from Unita Swinyo from Indonesia, saying, Hi Benji, it's finally December, the last month of the year, and I have a personality test for you. I heard it from the other show a few days ago. So, have you ever eaten 붕어빵 or the fish bread? If you eat that, which part do you eat first? The head, the body, or the tail? I'll tell you the result after you say your answer. Can you guess what my choice is? And the other listeners can join in on this test as well. So, she's asking, we have a snack in Korea called 붕어빵, or fish bread, and just to clarify, it's not bread that has fish in it. That would be an interesting combination, and that wouldn't be a snack. I feel like that would be more like a meal. but it's sweet bread, kind of like cake bread, baked in the form of a fish, and inside the traditional filling is red bean. But as times have shifted, there's a lot of variations on that. You also have a cream filling. You can also fill it with whatever you want. So if you want fish bread, you can probably actually get fish bread somewhere. And one thing that I'd recommend that I don't think they've come out with is chocolate-filled bread. Because, who doesn't like chocolate-filled bread? And I feel like that would be a good combo. Anyway, you asked, which do I eat first? So I'm assuming that for each response or each answer that you provided, there is a following explanation that you better give me, Unita. If you don't give me the explanation, I will be very, very upset with you, and I won't bring you 붕어빵 ever. Although, that wasn't on the plan anyway. But head, body, or tail? Usually, I dive straight for the head. Why? Because the head contains the most filling, and it's a really, really good part. And the tail, if you leave it for the last, the tail usually has little to no filling, and it's very, very crispy at the end. And, I love having that kind of the sweet, kind of chewy bread with the moist filling, and then at the very end, you end with a very kind of crisp kind of noise, and it's just super, super satisfying. So that is my response, head. For other people who are interested in answering this question, when you eat fish bread, do you go head, body, or tail? Unita will provide an explanation, right? Right? Okay. So thank you for that quiz. I'll be awaiting the explanations eagerly. And if you don't tell me, I'll probably have to look it up on my own devices. But you'll tell me, right? Promise. Alright, so now we're going to check out 2 more songs as we continue on, starting with the song Richie of the USA requested Come Clean by Hilary Duff, and Oksama of Japan wants to hear Just the Way You Are by Bruno Mars. We just heard the songs Come Clean by Hilary Duff, followed by Just the Way You Are by Bruno Mars, and it's time for our next message. I got Unmi from Canada saying, what's up, Benji? Sorry for not tuning in into MA. I was busy, but not for my projects. Actually, I was busy shopping. It was so fun. I bought gifts for my parents, grandparents, and friends with my own money. I didn't have time to buy that many things for myself, but I'll go for Christmas shopping again. And I need to buy so many things. Do you like to buy gifts for your parents and B.I.G members in Christmas? Or around Christmas time, rather? So when it comes to Christmas shopping, I think last year I did get a chance to see my parents, I think, or maybe was it just my dad? I can't remember. My memory is getting so hazy because I'm aging. No! But, a long time ago, it was just me and presents for my parents, I think. And then last Christmas, I gave you my heart, but I didn't give anything to B.I.G members, because we all kind of, we gloss over that kind of stuff. We don't really pay a lot of attention to each other in terms of presents, because one promise we made, actually, when we were trainees was we're not going to get birthday presents for each other. I don't know why. I don't remember why at the moment we did that, but, it's kind of a tradition we've kept. We'll maybe get a cake for each other. We'll congratulate each other. Maybe we'll buy them like a coffee, but we don't like splurge and get big presents for each other, because I don't know. I just feel like we're trying to we understand that we're working hard and all that stuff. I don't know. That's a good question. I don't remember. I should probably ask them why we're doing that. But of course I do get gifts from my parents. And, if there is small gifts that I can get for other people, I try to get those things as well. Because I don't really have any official time to go, Christmas shopping for anybody. And so it's a little bit harder when you're trying to find a gift when you have no time to buy a gift. So instead you kind of reciprocate with smaller things, such as coffee, little cakes, little cupcakes, and all that stuff. And I think that's a good way, for me to kind of give back to my community and give back to my people. Except for my parents. My parents deserve real big presents. So I'm doing the best I can with that. Start giving me ideas for gifts to give my parents, guys. I'll be waiting for those. Alright, so we're going to check out 2 more songs as we continue on. Daphne of the USA wants to hear the song Too Fast by Royal Pirates. And Ryoko of Japan requested Skip by Tahiti. We just heard the songs Too Fast by Royal Pirates, followed by the song that Hito really likes, Skip by Tahiti. Spoiler. And now we're going to continue the great music with two more tracks. Amber of the USA's requested track Run by BTS, and Mylene of the USA wants to hear Better by Chancellor. Alright, right after a short break, we'll continue on with Scribble into the second hour, introducing your messages and thoughts. We'll come back after checking out the song that Shreya of Bangladesh requested, Burn It Down by Linkin Park. You're listening to Music Access with me, Benji of B.I.G, and our first song, starting off the second hour of our show for Sunday, December 6th, was Better With You by Chris Allen. Now, of course, how do you participate on Music Access? Well, you can download the Arirang Radio or TuneIn Radio app on your smartphone and send us messages through the app using the comment function. And you can also listen to us by visiting our website, www.arirangradio.com/musicaccess, and leave your messages there on our message board. Another way you can tune in is through terrestrial DMB, but this is only available for our listeners living on Jeju Island. The frequencies are 88.7 for Jeju City, 88.1 for Seogwipo, and 101.9 for Daejeong. Now we're going to check out two songs before we start back on more messages, starting with No More Bad Days by This Wildlife, followed with The One by Above One. You're listening to the second hour of Music Access for Sunday, December 6th, and we just heard the songs No More Bad Days by This Wildlife, followed by The One by Above One. Man, that second song really kind of gets you into like a very kind of like chill mood, doesn't it? Alright, meanwhile, of course, our Sunday corner Scribble. It's just like using Music Access as a big notepad. Just as you jot down your ideas, thoughts, and what's been on your mind without thinking much on a notepad, you can send them in to us here so we can all share. It'll be your messages filling up this corner, so y'all better write in, right? Alright, so of course we have our next message, which comes from Wilma Stevens from Australia, saying, "Good day, Benji, Muji, and the whole Music Access family. I'd like to ask you, Benji, and to all the fellow beginnings out there around the world, is there any set protocol you think when meeting up with fellow beginnings?" That's the name of our fan club. Very soon, I'll get to meet up again with my fellow Aussie beginning, Natasha, in Sydney, and I'm wondering if there's something we can do to show we're huge beginnings. I so can't wait to see you again, Natasha. It's going to be so much fun. What do you suggest, Benji and fellow beginnings? Take care and whiting. That's an excellent question. What do you do to show support? I don't know. For me, I know you could like take a picture and tag me on it. You could, graffiti B.I.G on the side of the... Wait, are you going to Sydney? I don't know. Oh, yeah, that is right. You are going to Sydney. You should be graffiti B.I.G on the side of the Sydney Opera House. I think that would be a good way to get attention for everybody, and it would be a huge thing. No, I'm just kidding. Don't do that. That's a joke. And for everyone who may be watching this in the rerun, don't take this out of context and be like, "Oh my god, Benji said a graffiti on the Sydney Opera House." That's a joke, guys. It's a joke. But, I don't know. It's whatever you guys do. As long as you guys are having fun, you do whatever you want. You don't even have to do anything. As long as you guys are having fun hanging out with each other, I think that's the most important point of the trip. Not to feel any pressure to do something, but just kind of, chill and have a good time with each other. So, Wilma, when you do hang out with Natasha, it's hot in Australia. I get that now. So make sure to get something nice, something cool, something sweet, something salty. Maybe a salted caramel ice cream or something like that. Get a good meal and then take a picture. And just like make a video, maybe tag me on the SNS that I have. And just be like, "Yo, what's up? We're in Sydney and we're hanging out. Woo! And you gave us this idea. You are horrible at giving ideas, Benji. Ha 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 ha." Just feel free to send in anything. Just make sure y'all have a good time. Alright, so we're going to check out two more songs as we continue on with our show, starting with Shadow by Beast, followed with 보름달 by Sunmi. We just heard Shadow by Beast, followed by 보름달, Full Moon by Sunmi. And it's time to continue with more messages. Yana from Malaysia saying, "Hello, Benji. I'm talking about a message about my siblings. So I have 4 siblings, including me, and I'm the third and the only girl. It kind of sometimes can be so... Oops, I skipped a line. And the only girl, sorry. It kind of burdens me because it looks like I have to take care of all of them because they sometimes can be so immature. But seriously, having two big brothers can be fun, but at the same time can be so annoying. Because whenever I argue about my problem in girls' perspective, then they'll argue with me about using boys' perspective. Like seriously, I'm a girl, I can't understand boys. Sometimes I wish that I had a big sister so that I can share with her every time I have hard troubles. Oh, that sounds like so much fun. Okay, so to a recap, like a pen. Oh, rap. Yana is the third sibling. So I guess the third oldest, I assume. No. Third youngest, because you have two big brothers. And the only girl. And whenever you argue about them, of course, you're going to get, teamed up on because you have a younger brother and two older brothers. And of course, they're going to be like, you don't get it from a boy's perspective. But I'll tell you what. Now it feels like that. Now it'll feel like that. But later when you grow up and you get a little bit older, you'll definitely, I guarantee you'll feel this kind of thing about older brothers and their protectiveness, which will be good and at the same time bad. You might not understand what I'm saying now, but you will get it in the future. Trust me, I got this advice from, this is way throwback, but I remember when I was doing this thing with Jessie a long time ago. And she was talking about, she had older siblings and they really kind of, they take care of her and they fight. But at the same time, I think, Yana, you can afford to get stronger as well. Not in terms of, you're weak right now. But when you're fighting your brothers, don't be afraid to pull the venomous sting like a scorpion. Give them a bite like a spider or like a crocodile. I think spider bites are kind of weird. And enjoy it. Because the moments you have now, I'm sure when you get older, you'll look back on them very, very fondly. So have a lot of fun while you're there. And when you're fighting, or not quote unquote fighting, but more like arguing, try to think of a way to undermine them without using the girl's perspective. Be like, from a boy's perspective, isn't it like this? And try using a comparison in their viewpoint. And that might catch them off guard. You never know. I'm giving you advice for the ages. Alright, we're going to check out two more songs as we continue on, starting with I'm Sorry by CN Blue, followed by Do You Love Me by 21. We just heard the songs I'm Sorry by CN Blue, followed by Do You Love Me by 21. And do you love me? That's what I want to know. Let me know on our message board. Sorry, don't actually write that, because I know that we love each other, because we're the MA fam, right? Alright, so, Andrew Cat from Australia saying... hi Benji, so I also want to tell a story about my siblings, saying I'm the eldest in my family and I have a younger brother and sister. We have the whole sibling rivalry going on between us and all. My brother and I will join forces against our little sister, or my sister and I will join forces against our brother. Even my brother and sister will join forces against me as young versus old. Though we are extremely protective of each other if someone else dares to go against us. Okay, Yana, did you just hear that? So when it comes to siblings, everyone fights in a certain way, and I just got inspiration for another idea. So when your siblings fight with you and they're all like, oh my gosh, this and this and that, what you might want to try out is maybe, I'm just saying maybe, throwing it out there, gang up with your younger sibling and then go against your older siblings, team battle. Especially because there's 4 of you. In the case of Andrea has 3, and of course I'm sure she's enjoying that. It must be fun to a certain extent playing on different teams, having a battle with the sisters, a battle of the youngers versus the olders, and having a battle versus the old and young and all that stuff. And so, I think it's really, really, because I didn't have siblings growing up. I still don't have siblings. I have 4 members, although, I don't know, I feel like it might be different if I had a real brother versus having these members. But, it's all these different kinds of chemistry that you can kind of think of as a laboratory. A laboratory? I don't know which one it is. But anyways, potato. Just think about the kind of possible combinations that come from friendly, loving sibling battles. Kind of makes me wish I had a sibling. But, yeah, I think if you just kind of mix the different possible combinations, you might find a solution, Yana. And Andrea, thank you for sharing your story. Of course, like you said, I definitely feel like if I had a sibling, although you may fight and you may argue, in the end, you're always protective of each other. And I think that's one of the most important things about having siblings is even if you argue, bottom line, you look out for each other. You know why? Because y'all are family. Just like y'all are my family. So to a certain extent, I have a lot of brothers and sisters. Thank you guys for being there for me. Thank you so much. All right, so we're going to check out 2 more songs in retrospect of my love, starting with 촌스럽게 왜 이래 by K-Will, followed with Touch Love by T. Yoonmire. We just heard the songs 촌스럽게 왜 이래 by K-Will, followed by Touch Love by T. Yoonmire, or Tasha, as you might know her. And it's time for our next message, which comes from Jin Hyunju from Korea, saying, Benji, I have a bad cold. And when I have a fever, I feel like I'm walking on the sky or I have my head in the clouds. So, if you don't want to feel like me, my recommendation for everyone is to eat lots of vitamin C. And then you will see how good it can be. And being healthy. Okay, we're gonna stop with the rhyming. But for real, guys, we are getting into the winter months. And just like Jin Hyunju from Korea is saying, you don't want to get sick. Because getting sick and recovering now is a very, very awkward kind of thing to, have to work with. And especially the only thing is having the sniffles. I have a clean nose for now, but whenever you kind of appreciate the fact that you have a clear nose, I feel like that for me is about when the time I get a cold. So at that point, I chug down the OJ, the orange juice, drink all the vitamins, eat all the vitamins, make sure you're eating healthy. But you might as well start before that, right? In prevention of getting sick, what you want to do is just focus on all the good stuff. And by all the good stuff, of course, I mean being and eating healthy. So guys, if you get a little exercise, it doesn't hurt. But of course, eating healthy, eating your veggies, eating your fruits, eating your vitamins is very, very important. And don't skimp out on meals. Although don't eat too much at night either, because that's actually a good way to get sick as well. So find a good balance that fits just you and stick to it. And Hyunju, I hope you get well soon. I know it must be horrible to be sick, but hopefully if you are able to get some time for bed rest, enjoy some TV, enjoy some dramas, enjoy some anything. Because bed rest is also another way to say breakfast, food in bed, everything in bed. So, hopefully you get well soon. Fighting. Alright, so we're going to check out 2 more songs as we continue on, starting with Airplanes by B.O.B. featuring Hayley Williams, followed with California King Bed by Rihanna. And it's time to close up our show for today. The last song we're going to check out is the song that Eunice of Mexico requested, Lose Yourself by Eminem. Hopefully y'all are continuing to have a great weekend, charge up, and we'll have a great start to the week tomorrow. This was Benji of B.I.G, and as always, I'll be back.